Hey everybody. So I want to follow up to the customer service video that I did yesterday. So I went through and talked about how I have zero tolerance for bad customer service. What I forgot to tell you was my Mark Cuban story. So several years ago, I had a client of mine that went to one of Mark's theaters. So if you don't know this, Mark Cuban, in addition to everything he owns a whole chain of movie theaters. So the client goes out to this movie theater, enjoys the night, really has a great time. On the way out of the venue, he gets into a thing with the parking attendant. It's this whole debacle. Should have never happened. It really was the parking attendant guy's fault for what was happening. And so he just casually mentions that to me in our coaching call the next day. And I said, "Oh, that's Mark Cuban's theater. Why don't I email him for you and see what happens?" And this was totally a joke. Like, I'm just going to email Mark Cuban because I had read in one of his books, like literally in the introduction to one of Mark's books, he puts his email address on there and says, "Hey, anybody who wants to email me, email me." And in fact, Mark gets somewhere between 700 and 800 emails a day that I know of. At least that's what he said last time in a video I saw. And so this guy gets 800 emails a day. What are the odds of him emailing me? So what I did was I actually emailed Mark Cuban, and I don't remember what the subject line was, but it caught his attention. And I explained the situation, and it took him 8 minutes. So this took Mark Cuban 8 minutes to respond to me from his cell phone. And he said, "On it." And he copied on the email his CEO of the theater chain and said, "Tom, take care of this." So it took Mark Cuban 8 minutes to respond with the words "on it" and "Tom, take care of this" on it. Imagine my shock at how quickly they not only responded to me, but the fact that now I've got Mark Cuban and the CEO of this theater chain on this email thread with me going back and forth. And over the next week, that CEO continued to communicate with me several times over the next week about the problem, trying to get more information and how they could solve it, and what their solutions were going to be, just from a simple email that I sent. So that was a wow customer service experience that totally blew my mind, and I just wanted to share that with you. People will be talking about that one for years in some of our sessions. I give that all the time, and people are always like, "You got to be kidding me, they actually did that?" So what kind of customer service experiences can you give to your clients that they can tell in videos and stories like this for years and years to come? So think about those kind of things. Again, as always, if you have questions or want to chat about this kind of stuff, you know how to reach me. I love to chat about this kind of thing, and we will see you next time.